Hello everyone, welcome to another video and welcome to another episode of Sim Racing Made Simple. Now this is a series of videos all under 5 minutes long with some tips and tricks which will hopefully help you guys out. Now there's no messing about in these videos, it's straight to the nuts and bolts, and in this episode we're talking about manufacturing an overtake. Now we all know that the favoured method of overtaking is on the brakes, down the inside after a long straight, but sometimes that doesn't work. Sometimes the guy you're racing against is just really good on the brakes. What are you going to do? Well, you've got to do something to make him alter his line. Now, when I'm following somebody, I want to make that experience for them as uncomfortable as possible. I want them to think that I'm unpredictable. But whilst doing so, knowing in my mind exactly what I'm going to do. So overtaking down the inside on the brakes is great, but overtaking on the exit of a turn can be just as effective. Now, there's one technique that I do quite a lot, and that is what will I call it the peekaboo technique. I follow a car down the straight and then move my car to the left or the right. And by doing so, that makes the driver in front look in his mirror. And if he's looking in his mirror, then he's not looking at his braking marker or his apex, which means a lot of the time he stuffs up his entry. But if I remain disciplined and stick to my normal braking marker and my normal line, that means I'm going to get a much better exit. So I'm going to show you a few examples of things that I do, and hopefully you guys can take it forward, try it in a race, see if it works. Now the first one I'm going to look at is at Road Atlanta. Now the Mercedes doesn't want me to overtake here, so I make it look like I'm going to go 3 wide or at least up the inside. So he brakes later as a result. We braked where we would normally brake. That enables us to get a much better exit and get the overtake done on the inside going down the hill. A very similar story with the next one, although this is what I'm talking about with the peekaboo. At the last moment, I just move my car to the left and back in, and that is enough just to distract the driver in front. And again, similar story, we'll get the overtake done on the exit of the turn. So the next one is Watkins Glen. Now the guy in front defends, he covers the inside off, and we want to keep him on the inside. And all I do is I move my car across, then back. That keeps him there. I'm just thinking about my exit. We brake where we normally would. That means we get a better run off and we get the overtake done on the exit of the turn. Next up, Watkins Glen again. Now, this guy goes defensive. We're going to go on the outside. And generally, if people are on the inside, they think they've got to brake later, and they don't. I'm going to brake where I normally would brake. Thankfully, this guy does what I expect him to do, outbrakes himself, then we can slot up the inside, take our normal-ish line through the turn. Then here, different story this one. We've got 2 cars battling in front. This is what I mean. You want to make it as uncomfortable as you can. So I put myself bang in the middle, make them both think that I'm going to make it 3 wide, but I'm not. I brake nice and early. That opens up an overtake on the orange car on entry, and then the guy in front's pushing. He's pushing his rear tyres, then lo and behold, on the exit of this turn, he overcooks it, and that's another one. Now finally, onto Sebring. Now this is probably my favourite overtake that I've done in recent times. For context, this is the last lap of the race. The guy in front is going to go defensive, as you would, going into the last turn at Sebring. But we want him to think that we're not going to attack, but then we want him to think that we are going to attack. So you'll see here we're staying to the left, and we move our car to the right, then back to the left on our normal line. He then changes his entry into the turn at the last moment, which gives us a much better exit. As I mentioned, it's all about making the guy in front wonder what you're going to do next, but all the time being in control and planning every single thing that you do. So hopefully this video helps you out. Remember, if you're following somebody, you want to make the experience as unpleasant as possible. You want them to wonder what you're going to do next, but at all times, knowing exactly what you're going to do. Just try and be a little bit more calculated if you're going for an overtake on corner exit. If you're just following somebody around, not moving your car, well, there's no reason for them to change line, and you're not really going to get an overtake done. So if you can't get it done in the brakes, well, you've got to fashion it yourself, and the best method for me is definitely corner exit. Let me know down below in the comments if there's anything else you want me to cover. I do have a few up my sleeve, but let me know in the comments. As always, thanks for watching. See you later. Cheers.